you doing, Michael?
Commissioner Howe, have you joined us on the call?
Yes, I have.
Okay. How's everything going?
Well, physically fair. Everything else is okay.
Okay, well, we got you on the line, and you can feel free to mute and unmute yourself at will.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
And yeah, this is normally how I dress. I took my shirt off, hat off, put this on. We're going to be here less than 5 minutes. And that's coming from the guy that usually holds the meeting up.
Welcome to King County Levy Court meeting. Tonight we're at the King County Administrative Complex, 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware. It's Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. We're in Levy Court Chambers, room 203. This is a business meeting, but prior to calling the meeting to order, I'll ask the county administrator to read the rules for WebEx and phoning in.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, everyone. For guests who may be joining us via WebEx, just a few words of instruction. If you're joining using a mobile phone, there are opportunities at various junctures during the meeting for public comment. We will invite you to share your comments after raising your electronic hand, and you do that on a mobile phone by pressing *3, and we'll be able to recognize you on our computer that you're interested in joining the meeting. If you're on a computer, there's a raise hand icon at the bottom of the screen that you can activate in order to do the same thing, alert us that you're ready to address Levy Court. We have no public hearings this evening, so we won't be swearing in any commenters on any items, but we will ask if anyone does join us that they precede their comments by stating their name and address for the record. This meeting is, as the President mentioned, a business meeting of Levy Court, and as such is following the adopted rules of procedure for business meetings along with the Mason's Rules of Order. Mr. President, back to you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll call the business meeting to order. I'll ask Commissioner Angel for the invocation, Commissioner Buxton for Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Sweeney for a moment of silence for our troops and first responders. All rise.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of our community. We ask all these in your name. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for the military, law enforcement, firefighters, and other first responders who continually give their lives and protect us from day to day. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. Ms. Tanaka, if we have a roll call, please, to determine quorum for this evening.
Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Buxton?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Howell?
Here.
Mrs. Maston?
Here.
Thank you.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 present.
Thank you. Need a motion to adopt the agenda for this evening.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, can we have roll call on that, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. This evening's agenda has been adopted. Need a motion on consent agenda 22-02.
Move to approve, Mr. President.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Sweeney, second by Commissioner Maston. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals the consent agenda 22-02 has been approved. This evening, we have no public hearings. There is no old business. The new business, I have one item, appointment of a special committee. As you all know, our finance director, Susan Durham, is retiring as of the end of March. And in preparation of that, we've had that position advertised for 30 days in local papers and online job postings and services as well, as with the International City County Manager Association and the Government Finance Officer Association. The position closed January 21st, and we have appointment submissions for application submissions from 7 individuals. So at this time, in accordance with Levy Court rules of procedure pertaining to special committees, I'm appointing an applicant screening committee that will review the applications received and conduct the first round of interviews. After screening and initial interviews, the screening committee shall provide Levy Court with a short list of candidates for further review and interview. Ultimately, Levy Court shall appoint the new Director of Finance. In addition to myself, I'm appointing Vice President Alan Angel, who's Administration Chair, Commissioner Joanne Maston, who's the Finance Chair, County Administrator Mike Pettitamage, Director of Finance Susan Durham will assist us, and Personnel Director Alan Coella. And with this appointment, I'm requesting the staff begin immediately to identify dates, times for the interview process to commence. It is my hope that the committee will be able to submit a short list of no more than 3 finalists to Levy Court for consideration within the next 4 weeks. So we need to get the show on the road and get someone hired. March 31st is coming very quickly. Next item under new business, Mr. Angel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I've had a slew of people all of a sudden need to be replaced. So the first one I'm recommending for the Personnel Board is Jack Barnhart. You can see his nominees form. Any questions on that? I'd make a motion to approve him to the to the Personnel Administration Board.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Hall to approve Jack Barnhart to the Personnel Administration Board. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Item number 2, Commissioner Angel, your Personnel Administration Board appointee has been approved. Item number 2.
Thank you. A little over a week ago, I received a call from the gentleman that was my appointee. And as they were on Thursday doing a recognizing him, he passed away. So in the meantime, I had talked to Mayor Garvey, who's not running for mayor of Little Creek, and because of his extensive knowledge and what we're doing right now, there's no learning curve, so I'm appointing him to the Regional RPC Commission. And that's my motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Masson to appoint Glenn Galvery to the Regional Planning Commission. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Mr. Galvery has been appointed to the Regional Planning Commission. I think both of them will do just fine. Thank you, Commissioner Angel. Now, number 3, introduction.
Introduction ordinance LC 22-04, an ordinance to amend Chapter 68 of the Kent County Code relating to categories of employment service for public hearing Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022 at 7 p.m.
Thank you for the introduction. Next item, Commissioner Buxton, introduction.
Certainly, I need some, I was presented tonight prior to the meeting, a question in reference to whether or not this ordinance should be called solar facilities versus a utility facility. And so my ask tonight is I need to introduce this tonight to keep it in a timely fashion. Can we correct the heading down the road, Council?
You cannot amend a title. That's the problem. You'd have to reintroduce, if it had a new title, it'd have to be reintroduced.
Could we could, because we're not under the gun, we could introduce down the road a secondary ordinance referencing other utilities, correct?
Certainly.
We'll move forward with this one then, right? Makes sense? Okay. So introduction of Introduction of ordinance LC 22-05 solar facilities. It's an ordinance to amend Kent County Code Volume 2, Chapter 205 zoning amended by revising Articles 2 definitions, 205-6 definitions, Article 5 agricultural conservation district, 205-48 conditional uses, Article 6 agricultural residential districts, 20564 conditional uses, Article 13, BG, General Business District, 205-170, conditional uses, Articles 21, conditional uses, Article 21, conditional uses, 205-365, Table of Conditional Uses, and Articles, yeah, that's a big one, supplementary regulations in order to establish community energy generating facility as conditional use in the ACAR and BG zoning districts, utility solar facility as conditional uses in the AC inside the growth zone overlay district, AR and BG zoning districts, and establish conditional or conditions of approval for each use. For public hearing on Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022, 7 p.m.
Thank you for the introduction. Do we have any executive session tonight for anything? Okay, Commissioner Angel, item number 2.
Move to go into executive session and meeting following the committee meetings of February 15th, 2022 for preliminary discussion on on-site acquisition for a public-funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004B2, 4, and 9.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. We will have executive session February 15th after the regular meeting. Information items, any information items? Mr. Angel.
Thank you. Just to remind everybody, I leave Friday for the NACO conference in Washington, D.C., and I'll be returning on the 16th, so I'll miss next week's meeting on Tuesday.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other informational items? Seeing none, any public comments?
Do you have any guests on WebEx that wish to address Levy Court at this time? Star 3 on your mobile phone or the raise hand icon on your computer.
We have no more public participants online.
Should have
Thank
told me
you.
ahead of time.
Any commissioner comments?
I really need to slow this down for 7 minutes so you don't break Brooks's record.
Mr. Angel?
I just want to go on the record, since we're looking at the solar again, about the title. I just want to remind, I kept saying that utilities need to be pulled out, and utilities need to be pulled out and stand alone. I still say that. I still want to say something that I'm still doing my research. I'm not sure if I'm voting on this yet because I still feel there's something missing. I can't put my finger on it, as I've said before in public, but I'm still working on it. So I just want to give everybody a heads up. Thank you.
Any other commissioner comments?
I don't care if we're burning oil till the cows come home. We're just doing this because we got to deal with it. Anyway, go ahead.
Mike?
I should have done this under informational items, but next week's agenda is very limited to the sanitary sewer budget review. So we have no other items on next week except for the sewer budget review. Thank you.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Night, everybody.